أفلح من عاد الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ما كان على النبي من حرج فيما فرض الله له، سنة الله في الذين خلوا من قبل، وكان أمر الله قدرا مقدورا. الذين يبلغون رسالات الله ويخشونه ولا يخشون أحدا إلا الله، ويخشونه ولا يخشون أحدا إلا الله، وكفى بالله حسيبا. الذين يبلغون رسالات الله، الذين يبلغون رسالات الله ويخشونه ولا يخشون أحدا إلا الله، ويخشونه ولا يخشون أحدا إلا الله، وكفى بالله حسيبا. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله، ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين، وكان الله بكل شيء عليما. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا الله ذكرا كثيرا، وسبحوه بكرة وأصيلا. هو الذي يصلي عليكم وملائكته ليخرجكم من الظلمات إلى النور،
بالمؤمنين رحيما تحيتهم يوم يلقونه سلام وأعد لهم أجرا كريما تحيتهم يوم يلقونه سلام وأعد لهم أجرا كريما يا أيها النبي إنا أرسلناك شاهدا ومبشرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله وداعيا إلى الله وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا وبشر المؤمنين بأن لهم من الله فضلا كبيرا ولا تطع الكافرين والمنافقين ودع أذاهم وتوكل على الله وكفى بالله وكيلا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
Our first speaker needs no introduction. His commitment to his community, and especially to the Islamic Institute of America, is the reason we stand here in front of you today as a successful organization. His out-of-the-box thinking is what makes us so unique, always looking for something new and inventive to help bring Islam to the forefront. His relentless motivation to move us forward is an inspiration to all. Ladies and gentlemen, our chairman, Haj Azam Elder.
Thank you, Hajj Danielle. How about a round of applause to our women leadership led by Hajj Danielle. You know, a lot of times you realize that a whole year goes by and you look back and you scratch your head. It's been 1 year since we opened the new Jannah, and I can just tell you that over the year, and I know I'm going to get in trouble, but my mom taught me to always try to, you know, remember people who deserve a little remembrance because they do so much. So over the last year, you've seen the programs, you've seen us go through construction. The bathrooms had to be clean. People had to go buy water. People had to attend to funerals. And all I can tell you is that right now, because we have a large debt, I would say 95% of the work is being done by volunteers. So if you can please allow me just a couple minutes just to recognize some people. And I know people don't like this, but I'm going to do it anyways. And I'm going to read their names. And when you see them, not that you have to thank them, but know that they and their families do so much, way more than I do. And I just want to start with the board members and essential people and people that are at the mosque almost every single day, making it easier on those of us who attend maybe Friday prayer or go listen to a lecture. Let me start with these very special people, at least to me, starting with Danielle Zayat, Dave Abdullah, Dan Macklid, Dr. Hussein Darwish, Hajj Najah Bazi, Hajj Ali Bazi, Hajj Faye Hamoud, Hajj Linda Bazi, Zainab Sharara, Hajj Zainab Sharara, Hajj Ramzi Shamoud and his family, Hajj Hassan Kharaizat, Hajj Muhammad Ahmad, Hajj Ali Saad, Dr. Haidar Al-Saadi, Khadija Alawiya, Hajj Khadija Alawiya, Sam Abbas, Amir Al-Dahlami, Nada Gataimi, Fatima Faraj, Ali Kusan, Ziyad Nasser, Imad Al-Zayyat, Dr. Jafar Hakim. And as you guys know, in a matter of 6-7 months, the Sayyid had a wonderful vision to try to improve the content for the entire community. And the efforts of the Director of Education, Sheila Sharara, our two principals, Melinda Dakhlalla and Heba Hassan. And every day you see some people can't make it from their home because it's very hard for them to travel to the mosque. So we want to thank the videographer, Abbas Shuhaib, and his wife, Inaya, and obviously the construction that you've seen over the last year. It took a lot of effort and it took a lot of volunteer time. People that did this and they didn't ask for any money. And we are very blessed to have people like Hajj Gary Suleiman, Hajj Hussein Bazi, Nasir Shukair, and obviously, last but not least, our spiritual leaders. I can tell you that I'm here speaking on behalf of the board, and we have the utmost trust in Imam Hassan al-Qazwini. You do. I'm standing here before you. Obviously, you're here for the Imam. Obviously, they have generations of leaders in their family. We're blessed that his son, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir al-Qazwini, also has joined this community and has launched the Hawza. You're here during the first period to see so many wonderful things that are yet to come. And I'm very happy. I mean, it's been a very, very blessed year. And because it's only been a year, we're hoping and we're praying that inshallah next year will even be better. The Jama will be nice and clean, with the new construction, and you're going to see the content and the messaging that I think you're going to be very proud of. So on the eve of Ramadan, we pray for all your families and for our community to be safe and to learn to be the best role models in everything we do. And I see it. I see the gems in the community that we're producing. In every field, we see so many beautiful gems. And that doesn't happen on its own. It happens because there's an effort, there's a concerted effort by so many people, starting with the spiritual community. And I want to welcome our brethren from the other faiths for being here and supporting us, because it's so important. And I pray that I pray that there comes a time when the Islam that I learned about, the most tolerant, the most lovable religion, becomes so common to every human being. And that's going to take everybody's efforts to make sure that we take back who we are. And inshallah, with your help, we'll do it. So getting back on track, if you like what you're seeing with the Jama, with the content, hearing the lectures, having good classes, with insightful content in English, for those who don't speak Arabic, we need to keep the support going. We need to keep it going strong. And we at the board want to thank all of you here tonight, and those of you who couldn't make it tonight, but your presence is felt, not just tonight, but every day at the mosque because of all your support. We at the board want to thank all of you for everything you've done through the hard times. And you guys understand what the hard times are because we've been through some hard times. Just thank God, hopefully better days are coming. But as you know, it takes money to build that beacon of light. Whether we like it or not, if you want to have that lighthouse, that's shining a light, not just any light, but a strong light out there in the darkness where all the kids, all your grandkids can see a visual, where they can get that guidance, where they basically inhale confidence and exhale doubt. It takes this type of investment. So when it comes to helping, and I'm not going to lecture religion, but obviously this is a religious event, so I apologize for stepping in that zone. But when helping, when they say in Din Allah, it starts with each person, and everybody has an obligation to at least try. So in America, sometimes we get distracted, because it's two-income families, and sometimes you don't realize that even doing the little thing, even if you go to Salat al-Jum'ah and you can give that $1, that $5, that $10, or when Ramadan comes and you remember, that the best time to give is during Ramadan because Allah promises you that whatever you give, He's going to multiply your reward. So these are the things that I hope that God continues to bless all of us so that we can do good things and we can raise the best people in society. But I want to point out a couple things, and this is where I hope I don't get in trouble, because usually I tell my wife what I'm going to say, and I didn't get a chance to tell her today. So if I get in trouble, I ask for your forgiveness. So, look, we have about 3 or 4 more years of support that we need from the community to hopefully pay off the debt. Right now we have a bank debt, and it's a heavy burden. So those of us on the board, sometimes we sit around, and the imam sits around. There's so much more we want to do to be able to bring that content to the community, but there's that debt, there's that responsibility. And without you, and all of you here today have demonstrated what amazing supporters and how generous you and your families are. We're just asking you, please, to always remember the Jannah, because we really aim to do good things. Every penny you give, every single penny you give, we guard it. We guard it, and when we spend it wisely, because we understand it's an amana or a trust that you put in us. So during Ramadan, it's really good to encourage everyone, and you guys should encourage people around you to make the Jannah stronger. And by doing that, like I said, Allah promises that those who give, God will multiply the rewards. So I respectfully ask everybody in the community to help us pay off that bank debt. And Ramadan is a time to encourage people to try to give more. And I'm going to tell you a story. Maybe you know someone in the community that really hasn't given, and maybe they need like a little nudge. And if they still decide not to give, maybe you can tell them the story about a pond of milk. Did I ever tell you guys a story about a pond of milk? No? Okay. Well, once there was a king, and the king told some of his workers that he wanted them to dig up a pond. And he tiled the pond. And once the pond was dug, the king made an announcement to all his people. And he said to them that he wants one person from each household to bring a cup of milk during the night and pour it into the pond. So the pond should be full, it would be full of milk in the morning when everybody wakes up. And obviously the milk was going to be used to help the needy people, right? That was the goal. So after receiving the order, everybody went home. One man prepared to take that milk during the night. He thought to himself, since everyone else will bring milk, he could just maybe hide a glass of water and maybe pour it inside the pond because it'll be dark at night, no one will notice. So he quickly went and poured the water into the pond, and he came back. In the morning, the king and all the needy families came to visit the pond, and to their surprise, the pond was full of water. Okay? So what happened, right? What happened was everyone was thinking like the other man. And if people think I don't have to give because others will, then you don't understand the meaning of Ramadan. And I can tell you, I thank God for all the blessings I have in my life, and I think you should encourage people to do it. Don't let them miss out on the opportunity. So anyways, the moral of the story is that everything starts with you and those around you. And when you hear supporters, and I don't want to name them, who have really stood up for us over the last couple of years, all I can tell you is you're in my job. So a few volunteers can't do this alone. So everybody I named today is there almost at least once a week doing work to try to make sure that we have really a beacon of light one day. So I don't know if I should stop. But did I ever tell you the story about how Allah always gives more? No. Sure? All right, I'll tell you that story. I think the kids will like it. All right, but let me bring it down a notch. You ready? All right. So once there was this little boy, and he went to the shop with his mom. So the shopkeeper looked at the small child and said, wow, this kid's so cute. Let me offer him some candy, because he had a basket of candy. So he walked up to the kid and he said, dear child, take some candy. And he offered the child the candy. The child decided not to take any. So the shopkeeper was a little surprised. It's a cute little boy. I'm offering candy, and he rejects it? Let me try again. So the shopkeeper decides to try one more time. He says, little boy, he says, have some candy. And the mom overhears him, and the mom, she's obviously an Arabic mom, winks and says, it's okay, have some candy. And the boy refused to take the candy. So at that moment, the shopkeeper was very surprised, and he was kind of wanted to make sure that the kid left happy from the store. So the shopkeeper took both hands, he reached inside the candy jar, he took the candy, and he gave it to the child and the mother with his big hands. So when the child went home with the mom asked the child, I don't understand, why didn't you take the candy? And she said, the shopkeeper didn't ask you once, but he asked you twice, and I told you can have the candy. So can you guess why he didn't take the candy? Well, the child responds, Mom, my hands are very small. And if I took candy, I can only take a few. But now, with the shopkeeper's hands, I have so much candy, more candy than I can ever carry out the store. And the moral of the story is that when we try to take, in life, you can take, all you get is little. But when Allah or the Creator gives, He always gives more, and He always gives in abundance. And He always gives you more than you can hold. You're like that little child. So my hard part is over. I was asked, inshallah, during Ramadan, I hope we have a blessed Ramadan. I hope you keep us in your dua. And I hope that Ramadan is very, very blessed for everybody and our neighbors. And we at the IIA urge you, one last thing, I want to urge you guys and your kids, during Ramadan, make sure you read the Quran. And if you have any Quran in your house, do not let the month go by without opening each and every single one. Make sure your kid at least reads 10 minutes a day. And I promise you, it's going to sharpen their mind. And staying sharp is our responsibility of Muslims. And we really need to stay sharp. And Did I ever tell you the story about the strong woodcutter? No? You guys want to hear it? Are you sure? Do I have time? All right. Once there was a strong woodcutter, Dr. Darwish, who, I'm just having fun over here. So there was a strong woodcutter, and he basically wanted a job with the timber merchant. The timber merchant is a person that owns the entire forest. So he got the job, and the pay was actually really good, and the conditions were very good. So his boss gave him an axe, and he showed him basically what area he can work in. So the woodcutter, was very excited to work very, very hard. So the first day he went out to work, he came back and he had chopped down 20 trees. 20 trees. So when the boss saw him, the boss congratulated him. The boss said many complimentary things to the woodcutter. And the woodcutter was so motivated. He promised himself that he was determined that the next day he was going to work even harder. So the next day, he went out and he worked extremely hard, but he was only able to cut down 15 trees. And then the next day, it got even harder. He was only able to chop down 10 trees. So day after day, he was bringing less and less trees. So when the last time he had the opportunity to see the boss, he first thought to himself, he said, maybe I'm losing my strength, maybe I'm getting weak. And the woodcutter then went up to the boss and he actually apologized. He said, I'm so sorry, I don't understand what's going on with me. And you know what the boss told him? The boss told him, he said, when was the last time you sharpened your axe? And he looked at the boss and says, sharpen my axe? He said, I have no time to sharpen my axe. He said, I'm busy trying to cut down trees. And the moral of the story is that we are all like the woodcutter. So we get so busy, we don't take the time to sharpen the axe. And thank God we live in a time where we don't have to go out and chop down trees, but you have to sharpen your axe. And Ramadan is a reminder for you and all our children to make sure that you sharpen the axe. So I'm going to encourage you this month to take the time to sharpen your mind, polish your heart, and read the Quran. Think, relax, pray, meditate, and in conclusion, let me end with my wonderful, one more story? No, but I'm going to end with a quote from my wonderful wife, Judge Charlene. So my wife has a quote board. Maybe some of you see it, maybe you don't. But I make it a purpose every day when she writes a quote, I have to use it. So I'm going to use it today, okay? So in conclusion, let me end with Judge Charlene Elder's quote. And during this Ramadan, let us all be sharp, be true, be kind, be you. Assalamu alaikum.
Arabic literacy tailored to each student. Throughout the year, the students are asked to perform and showcase their acquired knowledge. Every Sunday, the IIA opens its doors at 10 a.m. for a public breakfast. Starting at 11, the children go to their respective classrooms for Islamic enrichment and to focus on prayer, while the parents are educated and inspired by the Holy Scripture. The program concludes at 12 after a public question and answer session led by our Islamic scholars. The IIA is proud to have established a first-of-its-kind Quran Institute. This program is exclusive to students who are committed to memorizing the most holy and noble word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Through a daily after-school program, the students are instructed to thoroughly read and repeat the words of God through the Holy Quran. The final goal is to have a student complete the memorization of the Quran within 5 years. Another first-of-its-kind program, the IIA is proud to have established a public housa program open to all ethnicities. With instruction from Samahat al-Sayyid Muhammad Baqir al-Qazwini, under the leadership and guidance from some of the highest scholars in Islam, this housa is focused on graduating students with a 4-year intensive program. Upon graduation, these highly trained and skilled Islamic ambassadors can go beyond Dearborn and disseminate the pure and true message of hope, peace, and justice in North America. Throughout the year, the IIA held various anniversaries and commemorations, hosting multiple internationally renowned scholars like Samahat al-Alama Munir Khabbaz, Samahat al-Sayyid Nasrat Khashakish, Samahat al-Sayyid Mahdi al-Mudarrisi, Hajj Hassanain Rajab Ali, and Sheikh Muhammad al-Hindi. The IIA accommodated thousands of community members regardless of race, ethnicity, or creed in our auditorium. A pivotal theme that differentiates the IIA from others is its insistence on inclusivity. As a former church, the IIA opened its doors to our Christian neighbors, featuring renowned Christian leaders like Reverend Hart and Dr. Reverend Wendell Anthony. Our scholars focus on finding common ground while having open and frank discussions with our sisters and brothers in humanity. By educating and inspiring Muslims in our community, by training Islamic speakers, by creating a safe space of Islam for our youth, by opening our doors to our neighbors, and by collectively ascribing to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the IIA is paving a path to spreading the true and pure message of Islam throughout the United States of America. It's time for us to reclaim our faith and to truly call America the greatest nation for Muslims to live in. Please donate today to ensure successful programs such as these continue to grow and inspire millions under the spiritual leadership of Samahat al-Sayyid Imam Hassan al-Qazwini. May God bless you and our entire community for your pledges of sustaining the message of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam and his holy progeny.
Thank you. There are a few people that we'd like to recognize that are here today. Of course, you're all special to us, but we are going to recognize just these few people. Dave Abdallah, Councilman, City of Dearborn Heights. Susan Dabaja, City of Dearborn Council President. Al Haddis, Wayne County Commissioner. Mayor Dan Paletko, City of Dearborn Heights. Judge Sam Salami, City of Dearborn. Sen Al-Haf, Message of Hope Chairman. Judge David Turfy, 20th District Court. Mike Serini, Dearborn City Council. Ambassador Dr. Ali Al-Ajami, Consul General Susan Mose of Lebanon. Director of Buildings, City of Dearborn Heights, Muhammad Subah. Candidate for Wayne County Commission, Sam Bidun. Honorable Judge Charlene Elder, Third Circuit Court. Dr. Mustafa Ahmad, Iraqi Council. Imam Sayyid Hassan Qazwini was born in the holy city of Karbala. He traces his lineage 40 generations back to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The longest serving congressman in history, Honorable John Dingell, has called him a leading voice of Muslims in America. Imam Qazwini is a leader, a scholar, an educator, an author, and an advocate regarding Islam in America. Imam Qazwini continues to be one of the most outspoken and influential Muslim religious leaders in the United States, seeking to persuade political leaders in America to stand with Muslim communities and speak out publicly against the spread of Islamophobia. That's who he is to the world. To me, he is a mentor, he is a friend, and most importantly, he is my brother. Please help me welcome Sayyid Hassan Kazwini to the podium. Ba'd salat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ومولانا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين. Respected imams, pastors, religious leaders, ambassadors, judges, consul generals, mayors, elected officials, community leaders, my beloved brothers and sisters, honorable guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. God has given us so many bounties, and that, in fact, we can't even thank Allah enough for what He has provided. There are numerous gifts and bounties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided that we can't even count them. We live in a great country where the bounties are in abundance. We enjoy security, abundance of food, religious freedom, freedom of expression. We enjoy access to excellent healthcare in this country. We enjoy access to high education. There are numerous gifts and bounties that we enjoy in this country that many nations and people around the world are deprived from. And we need to be very grateful to Allah for that. However, my dear brothers and sisters, we also face some challenges in this country, particularly one, and that is rising Islamophobia in this country. Since the election of this current president, the number of hate crimes against Muslims in the United States got tripled. There have been many violent attacks against Muslim communities, mosques, vandalism, and even physical attacks against Muslim individuals, particularly women who wear scarf. And most of you remember the video clip that went on in from Beaumont Hospital 2 months ago, when a Muslim lady was violently attacked by an Islamophobe. And I'm not here to scare anybody off, but that is a reality. And what is really fueling this Islamophobia is the very dangerous rhetoric that is coming from the highest office in our country, from the White House down. Officials who called Islam cancer, a president calling on complete shutdown of Muslim immigration to the United States, officials once in a while who find it convenient for them to attack Islam without any repercussions. But we cannot be emotional about this, my dear brothers and sisters. And the way we need to address this issue has to be very logical and away from any emotional outburst. I believe that there are 3 ways for us Muslims to counter Islamophobia in this country. The first way, let's teach Americans Islam. Most Americans do not know much about your religion, my friends. Most Americans think that Muslims practice a cult kind of religion. Most Americans do not know that Islam has at least 1.8 billion adherents around the world, making it the second largest religion and maybe the fastest growing religion in the world nowadays. Most Americans do not know those facts. Most Americans who happen to be Christians do not know that the name of Prophet Jesus has been mentioned so many times more than the name of our Prophet Muhammad. Most Christian Americans do not know that there is a whole chapter in the Holy Quran dedicated for the mother of Jesus, Maryam alayhi salam. Most American Christians do not know that we place Prophet Jesus in the same regard and place we place our own prophet. We need to educate Americans. We need to open our centers, my dear brothers and sisters, for everybody. We're not a cult. We have nothing to be afraid of. Let's invite Americans to our centers. Let them see us, how we preach Islam. Let them learn about Islam. I'm not talking about converting Americans to Islam. I'm not talking about proselytizing. I'm talking about educating others. I'm amazed, my friends, I'm amazed when I'm invited to places like American universities, churches, synagogues. After I finish my speech, many good and good-natured Americans approach me and they tell me, we hear this for the first time. We have never heard this about your religion. Because all they know about your religion, my friend, is what they see in Fox News. That is their main source of information on our religion. Have we done our homework? Have we reached out to American people by inviting them to come and learn about our religion? Have we held open houses in our mosques where Americans can come and just learn the basics about our faith? One of the greatest faith Allah has sent to humanity, a faith that considers treating others with respect and mercy and love to be a signature hallmark. So that's the first thing what we need to do, my dear brothers and sisters. Our mosques should be open for all, and we should be willing to receive non-Muslims as well in our centers by educating them about our religion. Number two, the other way to fight Islamophobia, my dear brothers and sisters, is to live Islam through example. By practicing Islam, by highlighting the ideals of Islam through our own actions. Islam is not only about praying and fasting. That's one part of Islam. The other major part of our faith is how do you treat others? How honest you are? How trustworthy you are? When Americans see how honest, how trustworthy, how peaceful we are, they will open up to us. And they will no longer think that we are a bunch of terrorists or terrorist cells. Our actions, my dear brothers and sisters, speak much louder than our words. And the best way to convey a positive message about our faith is that we need to act like the Prophet did. How did he do? How did he act? He acted with compassion and love, with tolerance and peace. When a bunch of Christians came to pray inside his masjid, some of those extremists who existed then as well, they made an issue that why the Prophet ﷺ allows those Christians to pray. He says, دعوهم, let them pray. We respect their prayer. You get to respect everybody's faith. Even if you're Muslim, Islam taught us to be respectful toward the faith of other people and to be sensitive over their belief and to conduct Islam not through our words, rather through our actions as well. So, those are two ways. The third way, my dear brothers and sisters, that we can fight Islamophobia in this country is by sharing some of the grief and pain inflicted upon other US citizens in this country. Because we are not a separate community. We are part of this great nation. Any tragedy inflicts other Americans, it inflicts us. It inflicts us as well. So for example, during national disasters, natural disasters that strikes our nation collectively, such as Hurricane Irma or other hurricanes, Hurricane Katrina, or any national disasters when there are innocent individuals and citizens being affected, we should share their grief and their pain by giving, by helping. When the Red Cross call upon us, asking us to donate blood, we should donate blood. In fact, right now there is a movement going on in this month. It is called poorpeoples.com. Go follow it online. Trying to alleviate the pain of those poor people. There are at least 60 million Americans who live below the line of poverty. We need to help. I know we have tremendous obligations toward Muslims in the Middle East, but we also have tremendous responsibility toward the poor in this country. And to assume that there are no poor in this country, that's a big mistake. There are poor in every community. And it is our responsibility to care for them. Let me remind you of a hadith by the most honorable man, and that is our Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa ala aswatikum. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam once said, الخلق كلهم عيال الله الناس كلهم عيال الله فأقربكم إلى الله أنفعكم لعياله. He says all people are dependent of God. Our Christian friends say we are children of God. We Muslims refrain from that term so as not to give the impression that God has a son. So the Prophet says you are the dependent of God. All people are dependent of God. And the closest to God among you are those who help God's dependent, regardless of their faith, regardless of their race, regardless of their ethnicity. We have to extend the hand of help to all people, to all Americans. In fact, when the Prophet Muhammad moved from Mecca to Medina, in the beginning, Muslims used to pray to Jerusalem. But a year later, God decided that Muslims should pray to Mecca. And there was a controversy in the community between Jews and Muslims. Jews pray toward Jerusalem, Muslims now pray toward Mecca. And each community were bragging about their Qibla. Jews would say, our Qibla is better than yours. And Muslims would reply, no, our Qibla is better than yours. God told them that you are both wrong. Don't fight over whose Qibla is the best. ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب. The true righteousness is not to turn your face to east, which is Mecca, or to west, which is Jerusalem. But the true challenge is when you give to the poor, when you help the orphan, when you pay your zakat, when you try to help a wayfarer, a needy person. That is the true manifestation of your righteousness. Don't fight over those trivial issues. So my dear brothers and sisters, the essence of our religion is how to be kind and how to be nice and how to be helping others regardless of their race or religion or ethnicity. That is the essence of our faith. And I hope we all can do something to educate Americans more about this great religion, our religion, the most misunderstood religion in this country. And I would like to share a little bit with you about the Islamic Institute of America. My dear brother Haj Azzam did share some ideas, and the video clip you just watched did share some information, but I would like to elaborate a little bit more for a few more minutes, and then I will be done. So as you heard, my dear brothers and sisters, within 1 year, alhamdulillah, only 1 year, we have been able, with the grace of Allah and with the help of our community, we have been able to achieve a lot. We had our Sunday school with over 170 students. We had our unique and beautiful Saturday school with almost 180 students. We had our Quran Academy, the first in kind in Dearborn, that focuses on memorizing the Quran, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our kids are memorizing. In 5 years, our kids at the Quran Academy will be able to memorize the entire Quran, not 1 or 2 or 3 surahs, but the entire Quran. And that is a milestone achievement, and we will achieve it inshallah. And also we have the Imams Training Center and Academy, the first of its kind, my dear brothers and sisters. We always had to bring Imams and scholars from abroad, from the Middle East, which is a good thing. I am one of the Imams who migrated to this country. But there are a few issues with that now. One is the immigration. With the immigration laws barring certain nationalities, particularly Muslims, to come to this country, we will not be able to provide every single Islamic center around the country with an imam or a preacher. We have to have our own preachers. We have to have our own imams who were born and raised in this country, who speak the language of this country. I don't need to spend 20, 30 years teaching them the language. They already speak the language. And that is what we need, my dear brothers and sisters. And I know many parents plan to send their kids to medical school, engineering school, law school. But I truly encourage some of the parents also to consider a new career for your kids, to be imams and preachers. Because we are in need of more imams and preachers who can educate us and others, particularly Americans, about our faith. And that is a big responsibility for all of us. So this year we had 70 students, male and female, who were training, all in English, to be the new imams and the new educators and preachers under the supervision of Samahat Sayyid Muhammad Baqir Qazwini. We had women classes in Arabic and English with our dear sister Hajj Sabah Baydoun. We have been offering Arabic language classes for adults with our sister Suzanne Samhad. Quran Tajweed with our friend Hajj Ahmed Hamdan. And there are more to come. I am thinking we as Muslims here in this area, we need a radio station. We have great Islamic institutions, but we just need to focus on the right priority. Alhamdulillah, we have enough funeral homes, Islamic funeral homes. We have enough halls to worship God, but now we need to focus how to help educate more Americans about our faith in this modern time. So I hope, inshallah, with your help and with your support, we will be able to achieve those goals soon, inshallah. My dear brothers and sisters, before I step down, I would like to thank a few individuals that we owe them. Hajj Azam did already thank some of the volunteers, but I particularly would like to thank the Education Board with all the time and effort it's putting to further our education venues. Hajj Sheila Sharara, Hajj Hiba Hassan, Hajj Haidar Mazen, we have Sister Melinda Darwish, and please, I ask you to give them a round of applause. Also, I would like to thank Sister Sabah Baydoun, Hajj Ahmed Hamdan, and Sister Suzanne Samhat for their effort. Please give them another round of applause. I also would like to thank the Women's Society for helping a lot in our center. We are blessed to have this Women's Society with us that is now focusing on expanding our banquet hall and our kitchen, inshallah. I would like to thank Sister Linda Bazzi, Hajjafay Hamoud, and others. I would like to thank one more individual who opened his heart and his masjid when we were looking for a place. And that is my dear brother, Samahat al-Allama al-Sayyid Basim al-Shara. Please give him a round of applause. I would like to thank the city of Dearborn Heights for being very cooperative with us and for helping us to function fully at our new center at the Islamic Institute of America. And particularly, I would like to thank the Mayor Pelletko, and my dear brother, Haji Muhammad Sabah. Please give them a round of applause. And finally, I would like to honor on your behalf two individuals. Those two individuals have contributed tremendously to the well-being of the Islamic Institute of America. The first one, our dear sister, who has been an unknown soldier in helping and defending and serving the Islamic Institute of America. I really cannot thank enough our dear sister Zainab Sharara for all her devotion. Zainab, please come forward. I would like to offer you a plaque on behalf of the board of the Islamic Institute. Hajj Azam, please, can you join me, please? Hajj Azam. Hajj Zainab, what is Hajj Zainab? She tries to stay away from any recognition, I know that, but I think we have a responsibility to honor her. Hajj Zainab, where are you? Hajj Zainab, please. Hajj Zainab has been serving the Islamic Institute of America from before its inception, and we are so grateful to her, and we cannot thank her enough. Hajj Zainab. Please stand here. There is another sister that I would like to honor, and she contributed tremendously and generously to the Islamic Institute of America, and she was a main supporter. I would like to call upon my dear sister, Sister Amanda Mekki, to come forward, please. Hajj Hussein, Dearborn, with her husband, Hajj Hussein, please come forward. Sister Hajj Amanda is one of the finest people I have ever met in my life. And I had a chance to do the ziyarah with her. She is one of the greatest individuals in our community. Her and her husband, Brother Hajj Hussein Dearborn.
Thank you, Sayyid.
Habibi.
Thank you. Thank you.
And finally, my dear brothers and sisters, I can't thank our community enough for their generosity, for their dedication, and for their devotion. There are many, many, many individuals, many of whom ask me not to mention their names. Many individuals in our community who had contributed either by their money or through their time and dedication to the Islamic Institute of America. And I really cannot thank you all enough, my dear brothers and sisters. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I believe that you, our community, our congregation, is the most generous and noble congregations I have ever known. أحبائي أنتم ولا أقولها مجاملة، أنتم أطيب الناس وأطهر الناس وأكرم جالية عرفتها، جالية معطاءة كريمة طيبة، فأقدم لكم التحية. I salute you, my dear brothers and sisters, from the bottom of my heart, for your help, for your support, and may Allah bless you and bless your family members. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to give you the history of the original Women's Club. I had Christian Youth Group in Steve Korea 40-50 years ago decided to form a Women's Club. With their hard work and dedication and support of all the women around them, the Women's Club was formed. Alida Khanum, after they passed away, Ashwanda Faze became the president of the Women's Club. She worked very hard, made improvements, and was determined to keep their dream alive. Now throughout our community, we have many women's clubs. They took their ideas, improved on them, and are all very successful. Ashwanda Maki was the youngest woman to be put on the women's club, standing next to her mother. She also was the first woman to be put on the Islamic board. Because of her hard work and dedication, throughout our community, we have at least one or more women on the Islamic boards. Help us keep their dream alive. Assalamu alaikum.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Islamic Institute of America's annual fundraising dinner. Thank you for your continued support and commitment. We have come a long way in the last 2 years under the leadership of Sayyid Hassan al-Kazwini and his guidance, and also with the blessings of Allah. Many programs have been successfully implemented. However, we have been operating the kitchen banquet area with limited space and equipment. At the present time, our total square footage of working area in the kitchen banquet area is 2,600 square feet, limiting us as to what we can do. Presently, we are able to set up 18 round tables seating 180 people. We cannot cook or bake in the existing kitchen because we do not have the necessary kitchen equipment or adequate space. To do so, we are extremely limited. The board has recently approved the renovation and expansion of the kitchen banquet area. With the expansion,
Sorry, we had a few switches in the program here. When I was little growing up, my mother, Allah yarhamah, always taught me that the most important thing in Islam is patience, right? So I want you all to be patient as I stand between you and your dinner. So our next speaker is from the MYC, which is the Muslim Youth Connection. Majd Al-Hajj Ahmed is the acting president of the Muslim Youth Connection and has been serving the community for over 4 years, leading the MYC projects, programs, and dinners. Majd?
Thank you, Haji Daniel. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, brothers and sisters. Being a member of this organization for a number of years now, I've truly realized the importance of investing time, energy, and resources in the youth. The MYC is a prime example of a successful outcome of continued support and investment in the youth of our community on both social and spiritual levels. This organization not only teaches us to be one with our faith and community, but also to be active members and leaders of those things, encompassing love and passion for both. The numerous programs and events the MYC holds throughout the year teach the youth how to seize opportunities, rise to challenges, and prepare the youth of today to be leaders in the world of tomorrow. As Muslims in the West, the establishment of an Islamic and community-centered organization and home for the youth was not only a blessing, but a responsibility for generations of the past. That responsibility does not end with the work of past generations. Rather, it continues on to generations of today and tomorrow, as we are the caretakers of today and the planners of tomorrow. The home of the youth has been built on a sturdy foundation, but can only withstand the storms of society with dedicated investment and continuous support. Your youth, your sons, your daughters have incredible potential, ambition, and aspirations. Allow them to blossom, flourish, and grow. Allow them to become the pride of our community. Develop them today so that they can become allow them to develop today so they can become our tomorrow. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters.
Thank you much. Sayyid Hassan Kazwini pulled me aside and insists that I just take a minute on his behalf to thank Haj Habib Kazwini, Nadi bint Jbal. Thank you all for all the hard work that you did today for this dinner. And if we could please recite Surah Al-Fatiha for Shifa Al-Hajj Muhammad Turfi, the founder of Nadi bint Jbal. Thank you. Also, the video that you saw that the women were on was donated and done by Haj Hussein Siblini. Haj Hussein, are you here? Haj, please stand up. So I want to tell you, the women have been running around for almost 9 months trying to figure out how we're going to get this kitchen built. We brought in architects, builders, and everybody has told us it can't be done. You have to knock down half the building. We can't make this work. Haj Hussein is a true soldier. He stood up, he answered to the calling. God bless you, Haj Hussein. He came and he took our 9-month problem and solved it within a few days. So he was able to organize everything. He's volunteered to be the project manager, and he's gonna make sure that our kitchen gets built. Allah Haj, thank you. We want to thank Renee Flowers for donating the centerpieces on the table. We want to thank the volunteer group that put the IIA video together, the other video that you saw. And I believe that I am done. So we will serve dinner now. Enjoy your dinner. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm not. April Fools. I have Haj Ali Saad, who is a dedicated and devoted board member, always answers to the call of duty for us. God bless you, Haj. He is going to come up and say a few words. Haj Ali Saad.
السلام عليكم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. أصحاب السماحة والفضيلة، أصحاب المراكز الرسمية والقيادات والشخصيات البارزة في المدينة والمجتمع، أيها الإخوة المؤمنون والأخوات المؤمنات، السلام عليكم ورحمة من الله وبركاته. في زمن تكالبت فيه قوى الاغتصاب وأيادي الغدر وقيادات الظلم وأشباح التكفير ممعنة في تلطيخ صورة الإسلام والمسلمين بكل أشكال الجرائم، في هذا الزمن الذي أوصلتنا إليه هذه الإرادات الغاشمة، كان لا بد للمسلمين بكل مذاهبهم وانتماءاتهم أن يتحدوا في الرد عن هذه الإساءات حماية لدين المحبة والتسامح في المجتمع والتعايش بين الشعوب ودين العدل وقول الحق والزود عن كرامة الإنسان. ومن هنا كان الدور المهم الذي يجب على المؤسسات الإسلامية في أمريكا وحول العالم أن تلعبه في إبراز الصورة الحقيقية لهذا الدين، صورة ناصعة البياض تبني جسوراً بين بني البشر من كل ملة ومن أي دين. ونحن في المنتدى الإسلامي في أمريكا قد حبانا الله بإمام لديه بعد النظر ولديه التصميم والقدرة أن يسير بهذه المهمة بعد أن مارس مهمات مماثلة على مدى سنوات عديدة وبكل نجاح. شكراً لكم سماحة السيد حسن القزويني على حسن قيادتكم، وشكراً لكم لمجلس أمناء هذه المؤسسة على الجهود الجبارة التي أتت تبني هذه المؤسسة وما توقفت لها جهود حتى في فترة البناء. كما شاهدتم في العرض الذي صدر العديد من النشاطات. أيها الإخوة والأخوات، ندعوكم للمزيد من الدعم في ذلك، وفي ذلك نفع للمؤمنين ورضاء لله. تقبل الله منكم كل خير تفعلونه. لكم منا جميعا كل التحية والاحترام والتقدير على ما قدمتموه وما تقدموه لمنتداكم، وبذلك تحافظون على استمرارية العمل والنشاط فيه خدمة للإسلام وللمسلمين وللمجتمع. وفقنا الله وإياكم حتى يبقى هذا المركز نموذجاً في العمل الديني يعمر بكم وبعائلاتكم وبكل مخلص ومؤمن. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وفي الختام أيها الإخوة، أرجو منكم قراءة الفاتحة لشفاء سيدتين فاضلتين، الحاجة نجاح مكي بزي والحاجة وندا فايز زوجة الحاج علي فايز، وقد عرفناهم بخدماتهم وتضحياتهم في خدمة الجالية وفي تأسيس المنتدى. الفاتحة لشفائهم. أيضا كما نرفع الصورة المباركة الفاتحة لروح الحاجة نبيها مكي ولروح الحاجة المرحومة جميلة وزني، ولأرواح أموات المؤسسين والمتبرعين، ولأرواح أموات الحاضرين، ولجميع شهداء الإسلام تسبقها الصلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
One of our students in Quran Academy is Muhammad Al-Hilal, and he's going to recite Surah Al-Fatiha.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير
Sam Beydoun has been a real estate broker in our community for over 31 years. He is well respected in the real estate industry for his sales achievements and political involvement. He would like to say a few words today about the importance of voting. Please welcome Sam to the podium.
Thank you, Haji. I really didn't want to be between dinner, in between your dinner, but I guess I'm in the middle of your dinner. Our distinguished spiritual leaders, elected officials, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum jami'an. First, let me congratulate the Islamic Institute of America on your second annual fundraiser dinner. I wish you continued success in your noble mission to serve this great Muslim community. My friends, I would like to take this opportunity to speak to you for a few minutes about the importance of engagement in the political process. It is imperative for our community to vote. It is now more important than ever for our voices to be heard, especially in this post-9/11 era. Due to the current political climate, there has been an increase of hate crimes being directed against Muslims in this country. Islamophobia is present now more than ever. We cannot stand by and do nothing. We have no other choice but to advocate. And the best way to do that is to go out and vote. Voting is a right that every American citizen is entitled to. Your vote is your voice. We need to be able to tell our own story. For too long, we have allowed the media and the enemies of this community to tell our story. If you don't like the decisions that are being made or how you are being presented in the media or treated, the only way you can change all of this is by voting. So my friends, let us send a clear message this year that we are part of this great American political process. Let us show that we belong here and this is our country, regardless where we came from. So on August 7th, go out and vote. If you know you're going to be out of town, you can vote absentee. Thank you.
So in closing, I just want to remind you that our theme for this year is Paving the Path. This first year has been a journey for us all. We'd like to thank you all for your support along the way. Each one of you has made the success of our first year possible. Thank you all for helping us pave the path forward, and in doing so, you have all contributed to building the house of God that is all-encompassing in every aspect of Islam. Thank you for helping us turn our house into a home. God bless you all.
Salam alaikum, my brothers and sisters. I'd like to follow up with a few words following my friend Sam Beydoun here, when he said it's very important to vote. It is extremely important to vote. Here in the United States, we have two voting periods. We have something known as the primary and something known as the general election. The primary is where your voice is most important. That is where you get to choose the candidate that appears on the main ballot in November. There's a reason why that primary is done in August and in some areas May, because most people are too busy during that time to vote. And the powers that be like it that way. It is very important that you go to your city clerk and get an absentee ballot if you cannot vote on August 7th. I myself am running for office to help make a change, as well as my fiancée. I am actually a visitor from Oakland County. I am running for the 41st State House District for State Representative. My fiancée, Asma Al-Hassani, is actually running for state rep here in Dearborn Heights, the 13th district. She is actually working hard for the people here in the community of Dearborn Heights, and it would be great to have an Arabic voice in Lansing representing the Arabic community here in Dearborn and Dearborn Heights, as well as other communities such as Sterling Heights and where I come from in Troy. So I just wanted to say, please take your responsibility to vote seriously. And one other step I want to say, and I said this to a few imams, the parties, whether it's Republican or Democrat, they want your vote, but they don't want your voice. It's time for everybody to have a voice, and it's time to get involved. You can be a Democrat, you can be a Republican, check out both parties, see which party represents your beliefs. But get involved. Don't let them just get your vote. Let them have your voice. You are all Americans, and you all have a voice. Thank you for your time.